We live back at it again, y'all. Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's happening? What's happening? Bitch. Real nice kids, yo. What's that thought?
That's right. TurboTax Free Edition is free.
We all die. But sometimes the stories of our passing must be forever carved into our collective memory.
He's almost here.
On live in just a moment, man. We're kind of waiting to see. I'm waiting for somebody to tap in. Talking to nobody. It makes sense to me. Somebody in. Here we go. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. We live, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank y'all for checking me out. We getting started in just a moment. We getting started in just a moment. What'll do, man? Here we go. Go and get this bad boy started, man. Got some views on both channels, man. Good evening, good evening, good evening. The Untied Jordan's podcast, episode number 18, 2021 NFL mock draft. I'm not sure why you can't repost flat. If I was you, I would screenshot what I'm doing right now and just repost it raw, and then just make sure you tag at sportshost99 underscore on the repost, my boy. That's what I would suggest, because I don't have an answer for that. Going straight into it tonight, guys, we just got an NFL mock draft. All 32 teams in the NFL for the first 32 picks of the NFL draft. For those who don't know, 32 NFL teams. Some of these teams will pick twice in the same round. A lot of that happens in a situation that I'm going to be speaking about tonight in reference to teams trading for multiple picks. The Miami Dolphins have multiple picks in the first round. Let me see. There's another team with multiple picks in the first round as well. The Jacksonville Jaguars also have multiple picks in the first round. The New York Jets also have multiple picks in the first round. respectively at the 19, 20, 21, 22. At the 23rd and the second pick, Jacksonville's at 1 and 25, and the Miami Dolphins are at 3. Let's see, 3 and 18. They're at 3 and 18. Chuck, what it do, my boy? What's happening? Here we go, guys. So, as of now, I've written down to about the 15th pick. I got 32 guys for 32 slots. See what I'm saying? I'm not really bringing anybody like I looked at the top 50, but I dwindled it down to my top 32 personally of the top 32 best prospects to fit these holes. Some of these guys may then because they have a better fit than may be a guy out there that's maybe a better player than them. So here we go. I'll try to get through all picks, but it'll be a little bit of analysis as I go. That's why I made this an entire show. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, D. Just check it out again when you get a second, my boy. So, that being said, with the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars will select Trevor Lawrence from Clemson University. 6'6". As of now, to answer your question there before I get into the Trevor Lawrence pick, the Miami Dolphins have the third pick from Houston. And as of now, you know, I might get into some trade talk or not based upon what's going on in the draft. We'll get to that in a moment. But Trevor Lawrence with the number 1 pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. One of those blue chip prospects, every 10-year prospects, just a can't miss guy. Rocket arm. He just had labrum repair. He just had a repair on his left labrum today. Threw it the pro day on the 12th, tore it up. Could throw the post route, backside 16, bang 8, different things you like to see a quarterback throw at pro day. Can throw it, boundary to field to boundary. You know what I mean? Comebacks. He was mobile in the pocket. He looked very good on his feet as far as being able to move the pocket, things of that nature. He looked like what he's been looking like for the last 2.5 years, which has been the number 1 pick in his respective draft class. The number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft, I'm going to go with Justin Fields from Ohio State University, quarterback. Now, if those of you who remember from the NFL draft, from the college football playoff, when they played against the University of Alabama national championship and Clemson the week before, and not the week before, Clemson the game before to qualify for the championship. He's a tough son of a bitch. I ain't gonna lie, very very tough guy, really tough guy. Smart. His accuracy is but it puts him in a position where I feel like you can always continue to work on that, especially with production or a cultivation of time put into your craft. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. I feel like he's a safer pick than Zach Wilson. He's more talented than Trey Lance, and he's not the same winner as Mac Jones, but he's just as much of a winner as Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones, which are the best 3 winners in this year's draft class. Third pick, I got the Miami Dolphins taking Devontae Smith from the University of Alabama. 2021 Heisman Trophy winner, 1,800 yards, 28 total touchdowns before he ended up missing the remainder of the national championship with a separated finger, with a broken finger. Not a big deal in the sense of, the severity or lack thereof of the injury. They say he should be prepared to do what he needs to do by the beginning of offseason OTAs if COVID can take its situation on forward to wherever it needs to go, and we can be able to have a regular offseason program for the NFL. Elite level offensive talent. I'm going to get to that in a minute and why that's so important at the 6th pick for my Philadelphia Eagles. Elite level, the most elite level offensive talent in the draft, and Tua Tagovailoa, unless they know something that they haven't put out in the news or anything lately, is as closely as I cover the world of sport. I don't see Tua leaving or being traded or anything like that. I don't think the Miami Dolphins are as hell bent on being participants in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes as people are putting it out in the media to be. So I don't foresee that taking place. So with Miami taking Devontae Smith 3rd overall, comes to my Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to spend a second on this because I got a couple of Atlanta Falcon diehard fans watching. The Atlanta Falcons don't need a quarterback if they get a great O-lineman. If they don't get a great O-lineman, you could possibly take a guy like Michael Parsons from Penn State. you could possibly reach and take a guy like Gregory Rousseau, who's the best edge player in the draft, but his stock to me is only between 10 to 15 where you're going to get value with that pick. You're not going to get a lot of value for him at 4. You're going to overpay at 4 because he's not as dominant as your typical 6'7", 250 to 260 pound sub 4'6" pass rusher. He's not as dominant as that guy, but his ceiling is through the roof. His projected talent is through the roof. So, that being said, I would like to think that with the 4th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons will select Penei Sewell from the University of Oregon, offensive lineman. Now, that leaves Zach Wilson in kind of a limbo. We'll come back to that momentarily. That being said, the reason why I think they should take Penei Sewell is because the Atlanta Falcons, with one great elite tackle to replace Jake Matthews, put him in as Sewell, the Outland Trophy winner from 2 years ago, who didn't even play in 2020. He would have been the first to go back to back, in my opinion, because he was the best offensive lineman in college football last year. It's not even close. Long, violent at the point of attack, great hands. He plays well off balance. You could knock him off his point. You can knock him off his pivot. He recovers ridiculously fast, and he plays with a certain type of swagger and just the type of nastiness and mean and just dog-ass mentality that you need to play with at that position. I feel like, a lot of people think that the Atlanta Falcons should take Zach Wilson from BYU. I disagree. I don't think he fits what they would want to have come after Matt Ryan. I think that Matt Ryan has 2 to 4 more years in him if you can keep him upright. That's why I think you should take the left tackle Sewell from Oregon. That takes me to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, they don't need a quarterback. They have Joe Burrow, hopefully. So, what that would lead me to say is I think they should take Kyle Pitts from the University of Florida, tight end. Most mock drafts have him right now rising up to the point of being 6th overall to Philadelphia, but I don't want him in Philly. I don't think Matt Ryan's done. I think Matt Ryan, along with Julio Jones and along with Hayden Hurst and along with Calvin Ridley and along with a healthy Todd Gurley, who quietly had a relatively good year this year, I think he could be very well better serviced in the last couple of years of his career that are reputable for him to be able to go chase a championship if you solidify the O-line. But that's just my personal opinion, dudes. That being said, I have Kyle Pitts going to the Cincinnati Bengals because they have T. Higgins. Maybe or maybe not they keep A.J. Green, but T. Higgins looks like a potential number 1, and you would be great to have a tight end who's a vertical threat that can help out Joe Burrow, i.e. the connection he had with Thaddeus Moss in his time at LSU as they were leaving out, going undefeated and winning the national championship as they did a couple of years ago. Which takes me to my Philadelphia Eagles at 6. Once again, I'm going to speak about this for a minute. I want us to take the best offensive player on the board. I don't think Najee Harris is going to be it. I think Najee Harris is a big reach at 4, Chris. Now, let me be clear. Do I think that Najee Harris is the best running back in the draft? Yes. Do I think that Atlanta's going to take him at 4 to pass over a quarterback or an O-lineman or a linebacker like a Micah Parsons or a defensive end like Gregory Rousseau, because you guys need more pass rush? I don't know about that. We'll see. Who's to say? But my point is, getting back to my original thought, with my Philadelphia Eagles, I feel like I'm dying for us to take an elite offensive skill guy. I don't want us to take a defensive player, a tight end, a lineman. If we had Penei Sewell at 6 from Oregon, I would take that pick because I think he's going to be the best player in this draft, which means I wouldn't mind him being at 6 and falling in our lap, because people may not potentially be able to put themselves in a position to want to acquire him within those first 5 picks versus taking a... Y'all need an O-lineman, Chris. If y'all got Sewell from Oregon, or maybe even Rashawn Slater from Northwestern, which is too high of a pick. Sewell's 4 pick, he's 4 pick value worthy. Rashawn Slater isn't. He's a snap. He can snap, but that doesn't make him better than Penei Sewell. Y'all need an O-lineman in Atlanta if y'all want to keep going on with what y'all have going on currently in the sense of what you have built in your offensive nucleus in Atlanta right now. Just my personal opinion. I have the Philadelphia Eagles at 6, taking Jamar Chase from LSU. Once again, I think at the point of contact in the draft at the 6th pick, he'll be the number 1 best elite offensive player left on the board. Like, just take him. Don't be fucking, difficult about this shit, Philly. Which leads me to my next pick, the Detroit Lions. 2 weeks ago, the Detroit Lions were supposed to take Zach Wilson, and it wasn't, it wasn't a secret. But, okay, so when you say who do you say? So you're saying who's gonna throw them the ball? Who's gonna throw who the ball? What do you mean, Rashad? Hey, I'm not saying that y'all want him, but he'll make Todd Gurley better. He'll protect Matt Ryan, which is going to get Julio Jones the ball more. What else do y'all want as Falcons fans? I don't understand that, but I understand what you're saying. I should say, Chris, but I don't understand the argument too tough. Continue to trade back and forth with me, man. We can continue to go on as as our show goes on this evening. I'm not against that. That's what we're here for. The Detroit Lions, I have them taking Jalen Waddle from the University of Alabama. The most electrifying playmaker in the draft is Jalen Waddle. It's not even close. Came in off of a surgically repaired ankle. Played a lot of important snaps for Alabama on the back end of the season. If I'm not mistaken, a couple in the college football playoff semifinal game. So he's a tough guy, and he's the most electrifying player in the ball with the ball in his hands in college football. It's not even close. I think Jared Goff will be immensely helped by his presence along with DeAndre Swift. This is predicated upon the fact that they keep Kenny Golladay in free agency. He's going to be he's going to be an unrestricted free agent this year. One of the better, I would say, top 10 number one receivers in the NFL. Kenny Golladay, and one of the most underrated offensive threats in the NFL, in my opinion, as well. The Carolina Panthers. I have them taking Rashawn Slater, the offensive lineman who plays tackle, guard, and center from Northwestern University. However, Trey Lance could possibly be there if they don't believe in the Teddy Bridgewater experiment. But my thing with the Teddy Bridgewater experiment in Carolina is the fact that they gave him a $66.5 million deal on a 3-year contract. So you're paying him low ball market because if Dak gets franchised this year by the Dallas Cowboys, the average is going to be 37.5. You're only paying Teddy Bridge a little over 20 and some change a year, 22, 23 a mil a year. So you're saving on the front end, but by the end of it, but on the back end, I don't see why you would take a quarterback. You guys need O-linemen. You guys need interior linemen. You just cut K'Wan Short today as a cap casualty, so that brings a guy like, I don't know. I don't really see a really, really dominant interior defensive lineman that high in the draft as far as what I've seen on mock drafts and things of that nature, except for maybe potentially a guy like maybe a Jalen Phillips from the University of Miami, but he's only a 265-pound pass rusher. He's not an interior lineman per se, so that's kind of iffy. So I think you guys' hand is kind of forced. So I would say that you guys take Rashawn Slater from Northwestern because he's the most versatile lineman in the draft, and you guys need versatility on the up front. On the O-line. It's not even close. The Denver Broncos, I have them taking Micah Parsons from Penn State. Von Miller, if he's healthy, should come back and have a great year. You have Bradley Chubb, who had I think he had a double-digit sack year this year I think he had a double-digit sack year this year off of the ACL that he recovered from 2 seasons ago. That being said, I think that Michael Parsons will be able to bring them more of a surefire presence in the middle. I think that this is one more year. I think this is the last year that Drew Lock gets a chance to show that they don't need to take another quarterback in the first round next year. And, I feel like that on defense, that'll just make them a better team. I don't know of a corner that really fits them at that pick. Maybe Caleb Farley. Maybe Patrick Surtain II. Who knows? So I had Jalen Waddle possibly going to the Cowboys, but obviously I announced he's going to the Lions, in my opinion. So the Dallas Cowboys with a 10th overall pick. They take Gregory Rousseau from the University of Miami. Big-time pass rusher, number one rated true 4-3 pass rusher in the draft. I think he'll be well to complement on the other side of DeMarcus Tank Lawrence. I think their defense is relatively good when they're healthy. I think their offense is relatively competitive. Two quarterback choices for you easy at the 9th pick. Trey Lance from North Dakota State or possibly Mac Jones from the University of Alabama. Just throwing that out there. I don't know. Maybe Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson falls from Atlanta and nobody from Cincy, Philly, Detroit, Carolina takes him, y'all could possibly get Zach Wilson. That would be great. That would be great for you guys because it makes a lot of sense. But that's just my personal opinion. And to answer your question. San Francisco 49ers, I have them taking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, outside linebacker tweener from Notre Dame. One of the more solid linebackers I saw all year. I had a chance to see him live against Clemson when they played the first game when DJ Uyunglele, the backup quarterback for Clemson, started over Trevor Lawrence in a situation where I think Trevor Lawrence had the COVID situation, had a COVID bug hit him. And Jeremiah Owusu Cora Moa had over 13 tackles, sack, and I want to say he had a forced fumble as well. So he balled out, big time ball out. He balled out for sure. The LA Chargers, I've said previously, I previously had them taking Rashawn Slater, but I've changed that to Elijah Vera Tucker. 6'4", 315-pound left tackle from the University of Southern California. Potential guard, potential center candidate. But they have a guy named Sam Tevi, Polynesian offensive left tackle right now, not really cutting it. So I feel like you guys could bring in a guy like Vera Tucker. Or if Tevi improves, you can bump a guy like Vera Tucker inside the guard, and you could possibly have Dan Feeney, Elijah Vera Tucker, and then you got to figure out who's going to replace Mike Pouncey-Asinu, who just retired recently, along on the same day along with his brother Marquise, respectively, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kwity Paye from the University of Michigan will be the first pick of the first round pick of the Minnesota Vikings at 14. 6'3", 270 pounds, Michigan guy. Heavy-handed, plays great against the run, but he does just enough in his pass rush. He's 270 pounds, so a guy like him, you could possibly bring him in to be a potential 4-3 end with a little bit of versatility, because you got to remember, you got Daniil Hunter coming back from a really catastrophic neck injury he had earlier this year. You have Anthony Barr returning on defense, as well as Eric Kendricks, who's one of the best pass covering linebackers in the NFL. You have Harrison Smith, who's getting it done but getting older. And then you have a really, really young but hungry defensive back core in the back four for the Minnesota Vikings as well. 15, the New England Patriots. I'm going to pump my brakes here and not give a pick so fast. I'm going to more or less speak to this for a minute. So guy named Tom Brady went down to Tampa Bay, and now he's throwing Super Bowl trophies from boat to boat, literally. So Bill Belichick had to experience that. He had to eat that this year. The media is saying that there's no Patriots dynasty without Tom Brady. To hell with what Belichick did and what he's done for that franchise. I highly disagree. But by the same token, and funny to me, Patrick Surtain II hasn't come off the board yet. I'll get to that in a moment. Mac Jones would be my pick at 15 for the New England Patriots. Once again, I'm going to repeat damn near the same thing I said yesterday. Mac Jones, to me, is not necessarily the most athletic guy. He comes from a winning program. He's a national championship quarterback. He had great players, if not Heisman-level candidate player. He played with a Heisman Trophy winner in college. His makeup, it makes a lot of sense, just like Tom Brady's out of Michigan, except he's not the 6th-round pick, 199th overall guy who didn't have a fucking drip of athleticism attached to him coming out of Michigan. He's the same guy without the lack of hype. I think Mac Jones would be great for the New England Patriots. Why am I saying that with such, passion? You have to see, or you have to look in the sense of Mac Jones being a Nick Saban coached player who makes a lot of sense in relation to going to play for a Bill Belichick type of team, where you have your head low, you shut the fuck up, you do your job, it makes sense. You go home, you go about your day. I think that makes a lot of sense for a guy like Mac Jones, who just wants to win and compete versus being in the public eye. None of those guys are really popular, big main time, like people's persons of type of football players. Najee Harris was, because he has a nationally well-known relationship as far as friends with Megan Rapinoe, because they're both Californians, but by the same, and they both do athletic greatness on the field, respective in their own respective sport. But Mac Jones is a lot like Tom Brady in a lot of the sense of just his background and pedigree before he entered the NFL. Patrick Surtain II finally comes off the board at 15 to the Arizona Cardinals. This is one of those positions where a guy, in my opinion, dropped a lot farther in my mock draft than I thought he would have. And because of the fact that he did that, I have him going as the number 1 defensive player who's coming off the board at the moment. The Dallas Cowboys, potentially, the New York Giants, potentially, the San Francisco 49ers, potentially, are 3 spots he can land before that position. Let's go with the Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders will take Jalen Phillips from the University of Miami. Long, mean, athletic pass rusher. They have a long, mean, athletic pass rusher on the other end right now that's really coming into his own. A guy by the name of Max Crosby, Eastern Michigan 3rd-round pick from a couple of years ago. Here, okay. I got those guys taking Jalen Phillips. And I'm a Miami guy, so I got to throw a Miami guy in there eventually if he's going first round, The Miami Dolphins at 18, so they're back. They've just taken a receiver. Now I think they could improve themselves very much so on offense again. Najee Harris to, I haven't spoken on him yet. No, I haven't. Najee Harris to the Dolphins at 18. It becomes an Alabama reunion down in Alabama down in Miami for the Miami Dolphins. It's one of my blockbuster picks of the draft. Najee could be there at 18. It's still a reach. Nah, I wouldn't say a reach, but I still think that Najee Harris could do very, very well if Miami can piece together some type of O-line. They got a couple of young pieces, Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, two rookies that came in and were relatively solid for them last year, but we shall see. Who's to say? I would take... Now, next is the Washington football team. The Washington football team takes Trey Lance from North Dakota State University. Somewhat of the same situation as Taylor Heineke, a FBS level, God level FBS player who came to the NFL, and I think he has way more talent than Taylor Heineke can ever imagine to have. So I think that'll work. I think that works for them because they like a small school guy. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. This is my opinion. So Chicago Bears, next pick. They need a quarterback and an O-lineman. I am going to just throw out, and I don't mean any harm, you know, but Jalen Mayfield, tackle from Michigan. One reason why I bring it up, they need tackle play bad because Charles Leno Jr. is getting old, and he's not too far away. What I mean by that is this. I'm almost certain that the Chicago Bears know a lot about Jalen Mayfield, a 6'5", 310, all-Big Ten tackle from the University of Michigan. The Indianapolis Colts. They're surefire on defense. They could do better at running back. They need a quarterback, obviously. Phillip Rivers has retired. They don't really need a number one, but they need kind of a number one. I can see them falling in love with a wide receiver. They have Jonathan Taylor, so Travis Etienne doesn't make a lot of sense. But you have rumors of the fact that Malik Hooker is going to walk. Trayvon Mooring, the Thorpe Award winner from TCU, goes to the Colts. I think we're at 21 because the Tennessee Titans are next at 22. You guys need a left tackle? Okay, I'll give you one. Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma State. He's right outside of the top 32. He's top 35, top 40 offensive line. He's a top 35, 40 draft prospect. Oklahoma State, possible left tackle. Or Trent Williams is a free agent this year. Now it's crazy how things work, but if Ron Rivera can convince Trent Williams to come back to Washington, that would be the best Christmas present that you guys can ask for as Redskins fans. A lot of you Washington football team fans. A lot of you Washington football team fans don't even realize that Trent Williams is only on a one-year deal in San Francisco anyway. I dare somebody who's a Washington football team fan, other than my boy Eric Hill, to tell me that, because I know he knows. We talk about almost every day. Okay. Miami, Tennessee Titans. Okay. So, the Tennessee Titans, well, like I said, the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, Trayvon Mooring from TCU. Okay. The Tennessee Titans are at 22 now. Azeez Ujulari. Christian Darrisaw. Great pick, great potential pick there. I don't, for the football team, I still think you guys need a quarterback. But if you don't take Trey Lance and you believe in Taylor Heineke, you could take Christian Darrisaw at that same pick. I want to mark that off. I appreciate the reminder of that guy because I have him in my top 32 players, that is. The Tennessee Titans take Azeez Ojulari from the University of Georgia. If you remember, he made the last play in the Peach Bowl this year against a very, very scrappy Cincinnati team. Sack at the very end of the game. Sack fumbled, as a matter of fact. Twitchy, fast, athletic, stout at the point of at the run, bends the fuck out of a corner, and he's just superior. He's going to be more superiorly athletic more times than not than most offensive linemen he's going to go against. He's your Leonard Floyd type. You know what I mean? So, and Quint, I got y'all taking. Tell Quint what I got to say, man. Man, no, I'm live. He better have something worth the fuck to say too. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Untied Jordan's YouTube channel. Also follow me on SportsHost99 as well as. What's up, my boy? Hey. I got y'all taking Mac Jones with the 15th pick. Alabama. Yeah. Now hear me out. Hear me out right quick.
That's a good pocket presence.
Hear me out now. Same things that Tom he did. He has the same makeup that Tom Brady had out of college, except he had hype. National champion, played with a Heisman Trophy winner, played in a big time program. He was a winner in college. If you remember, Tom Brady and them beat Ryan Leaf and the crew in the Rose Bowl same year that same year Charles Woodson won the Heisman Trophy.
Exactly.
So I feel like everything except for Mac Jones being 6'4", 3/8", and not even a drip of athleticism on your ass in the 6th round, you got the same guy. Nick Saban program, Bill Belichick team. It makes a lot of sense. You know, being a Patriots fan, that Nick Saban's quick to send a coach to Bill Belichick and through their program. You know what I mean? I just think that makes sense. I don't think y'all gonna take Trey Lance, and I don't think Justin Fields is gonna be there. I don't think y'all gonna take Zach Wilson because he's a rich kid. By the way, like his dad, I think his daddy's the CEO of a big ass company or some shit. Like he's like got a whole lot of money, whole lot of smart ass mouth. From what they say about the kid, I don't know. But yeah, that's why I got y'all taking it 15 for y'all first round pick.
With that hype around Mac and the way he had to sit and grind it out the same way Brady did since at Michigan all those years, like you said, he got more hype with the social media going on.
Right.
Versus
Right.
what they had back in the late 90s, mid 90s.
Right.
The Bill, his composure in big time situations, I love it.
Right.
Like I said, I don't see too many other quarterbacks that we should put our time into. He's like you say, the same build as Brady. He also is a little bit more mobile than Brady was.
Exactly. He's just mobile enough. You know what I mean? He's just mobile enough. Those who are just tuning in on Instagram, this is a college buddy of mine. One of the best, in my opinion, is the best defensive player that ever played at Johnson C. Smith for the pocket of time he played there. Name's Quentin Toomer. Tell you guys a quick story. There was a big bad running back at Winston-Salem State University in 2011 by the name of Cedric Hickman. Supposed to be this big badass fullback. My boy blew his ass up in the A gap. We played them boys at their house for homecoming. Never forget that shit. I cut up the highlight tape to send to the league for my boy, so I remember that. You dig what I'm saying?
Put his ass in the dirt like Pookie Low. Put him on his big numbers.
Oh man, that shit was ugly.
I gotta give credit to my D-line though. I gotta give credit to my D-line. Justin Steele, Fat Boy Dukes, little Ankle Robinson.
Oh God.
Short, bad buddy Deuce.
Oh God.
Give credit to all those guys, cause without them, man, I couldn't shoot them gaps the way I was shooting them. They kept them boys up off me.
Where you think your folk going? Deshaun Watson.
Watson, man.
I got Deshaun Watson going to the Jets, but I don't know that they're gonna put around shouting. Cause if they get Deshaun to go to the Jets, you automatically gotta take Jamar Chase, or you gotta take Devontae Smith with that third pick. You know what I'm saying?
They got nice weapons at receivers. Just they ain't got nobody getting on the ball.
I'm be honest with you. I don't think they got good receivers up there no more because you thinking that Robbie Anderson's still in New York. Robbie Anderson's a Carolina Panther.
Yeah, I mean, there was a reason they let him go. I mean, I ain't gonna say let him go. There's a reason they didn't re-sign him, although he didn't want to go back there neither.
That boy Tremaine said Dallas need to trade up and take Penei Sewell, the old lineman from Oregon. No cap. Y'all need another franchise old lineman because y'all old line Poochie. That shit some shit, boy. On God. I'm for Poochie.
Dallas need to get rid of your boy Collins.
I don't think so. I think Lyle Collins about the best thing they got left when he healthy, bro. I'll argue that down with you the rest of the episode.
Keyword.
When he healthy.
Healthy. Health is wealth, man. He don't stay healthy. You can't use him.
I'm not knocking that, but what I'm saying though is this. Well, no, I ain't got no argument. You can't make the club in the tub. Can't make the club in the tub.
You can't make the club in the tub. You have players like me, you. We playing with cash, no, we playing with broken bones, fighting through. Even though they get paid and to take care of their body, it's like at some point in time, it's just gotta be bigger than you.
I can go for that.
It's gotta be bigger than you. You gotta get your ass out there and play the game you get paid to play.
I can go for that. Hey, Jameson Crowder gone though from the Jets. That's probably their best receiver. He a free agent now.
Who that?
Jameson Crowder for the New York Jets. Little buddy, about 5'11", 6 feet tall. Shout out a free agent. On God.
Hey, Clown Chowder Crowder is great. I love Crowder. He's
He been nice since the Skins. No cap. He been nice since the Washington football team days.
Yeah, he's
God.
a nice slot option. He can stretch the field. He got a nice ride to the routes he run.
Facts.
Crisp. He's not just out there running around. He know how to get open and create separation.
Big
That's
facts.
what really got him noticed with the damn football team.
Hey, I need you to come back in with me in a couple of days because I want to get you out here to talk about what you be doing with the powerlifting, man. I want to give you a platform to talk about this shit, man. I'm at 23. I'm going to knock out these last 9 picks, bro. I'm going to call you about that detail, though, man, because I need you to come over and tell the world what you're talking about, what you're trying to do with your bodybuilding, man, because little do y'all know, my boy, hey, my boy's stronger than all y'all that. I'm putting you down, bro. Putting you down.
Stronger than you motherfuckers when I blink.
Watch out, man. Go ahead, so.
Look at that. I'm already digging it.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, one of my good college partners, man, my boy Quentin Tuma, man. Quentin, man, I appreciate you chiming in with me, my boy.
Hey, man, hit me up anytime, big dog. Love you, kid.
You already know, man. Love, big brother. You already know.
So, no.
Yes, sir, man. My boy, man. To reminisce right quick, my boy Tuma, man. Jeremy Johnson, man. Appreciate you tuning in, man. If this is the same Jeremy Johnson I think it is, man, I'm sorry we had to pap y'all ass out a couple years ago for that ring, but it's cool. It's all gangster. Check this out. 23. New York Jets. They take Travis Etienne from Clemson. Home run pick. They don't even have a running back. They have Frank Gore and a whole bunch of other motherfuckers. I think Frank Gore want to keep playing for the Jets. I say you let him come back, and this will be the perfect situation for Travis Etienne to learn how to be a pro from one of the best pros ever in general. It's not even close. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, let's talk about some of the guys that are left on the board. You got Nick Bolton from the University of Missouri. You got Caleb Farley. You got KT Toney. Killed it at the Senior Bowl. Zaven Collins, arguably the best edge rusher, the best edge stand-up player in the draft. First round potential pick from Tulsa. D tackle from Washington, Onwuzurike. Go back and get his full name. Levi Onwuzurike from the University of Washington. You got J.C. Horn, Joe Horn's kid from South Carolina, cornerback. We've already said Azeez Ojulari is going to the Titans. You got Christian Barmore, Nick Bolton. So, let's see. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Zach Wilson hasn't been picked in my mock draft yet, y'all. Just putting you down. That could happen. Just saying. The Pittsburgh Steelers take Christian Barmore from the University of Alabama. Once again, Wyatt Davis was an All-American. He made his ass look like a second-teamer. Look like a second-team player for the Ohio State. On God. And Wyatt Davis is going to be a second, third-round pick. Seriously. I would love to have seen Trey Smith and Christian Barmore at the Senior Bowl. That would have been nice, because those are two big behemoths, SEC-level O-linemen, to be able to see what they would have been able to bring into as far as what's going on. I would have loved to have seen that. The Jacksonville Jaguars, with the 25th pick, take Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. 6'2", 210 corner, can run, great cover guy. Will be great to pair with C.J. Henderson, two young corners, great corners. The Cleveland Browns, J.C. Horn from the University of South Carolina. Joe Horn's kid, once again, like I just said. I'm not chasing, but I'm kind of reinserting a couple guys that I think that are going to be great picks, potential in the first round guys, second round guys, but some guys that might potentially get to be a first round pick. Who knows? Matt Jones better be a first round. I agree, Jeremy. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Matt Jones, I think, is certified first round pick. Hard to deny national champion, right? The Baltimore Ravens, Alex Leatherwood from the University of Alabama. Ozzie Newsome sends his best. Ozzie Newsome always has a way to find a great player in the first round, whether it be an Alabama kid or whether it be a great player on the board at that late first round draft position. It's a blizzard outside. I hear them sirens in the background. Somebody probably wrecked on the highway. Hope they all right. Pray for the folk out there, man. It's treacherous out here, y'all. We just got 11.5 inches. We got another doggone 9.5, 10 inches coming over the next 12, 14 hours, man. It's ugly out here, man. Y'all be careful out here on these roads. All this winter weather going on around the country, anywhere you may be watching this show. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in, man. Once again, another, Station Blast. Good evening. This is Jordan Mosley. Once again, this is the Untied Jordan Podcast, episode 18. NFL mock draft 1.0. Come back with a 2.0 in about 2 weeks. Cause I would like to let it breathe. I like to let things change, trades, etc. Things that make the NFL draft change from an external point of view versus the internal process that is the production of the NFL draft. This podcast has been brought to you today by Art Ain't Free. My boy at one SMIFF. I'm saying my boy Darius Davis, man, one of the most, if not the most groundbreaking, most advanced, ahead of his time digital production, digital media man in Atlanta. Not even close. At the number one Smith, SMIFF. If you guys want to get in touch with him, at Art Ain't Free, ARTAINTFREE, at ARTAINTFREE for that information. Get your merch, you know what I'm saying? The Untied Jordans podcast, man, we come with some merch soon, man. I'm on y'all ass. We gotta figure that out. We gotta figure out how to be able to get y'all to wear the shit, you know what I'm saying? And say that y'all rock with me versus just watching and viewing, and I appreciate that too. You see what I'm saying? So, the New Orleans Saints. I got the New Orleans Saints right now. For me personally, I got the New Orleans Saints taking KT Toney from the University of Florida. They need a great slot guy other than Trayvon Smith. They got Michael Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders is getting old. I think he's Emmanuel Sanders 2.0 as a younger version. The Green Bay Packers take Xavier Collins from Tulsa. Preston Smith eventually going to want to go get a bag somewhere. If he goes to get it this year, you're going to have to replace that. Xavier Collins from Tulsa. You got, let's see, Levy Onwuzurike from the University of Washington going to the Buffalo Bills. We have, for KC, they need interior O-line play, Trey Smith from the University of Tennessee. Trey Smith, Austin Ryder, and Kelechi Osemele, who will be coming back from an injury. Man, hey, by the way, Kelechi Osemele, man, hey, you on Instagram, hey, man, unblock your IG, man, so I can, when I talk about you on the show, you can see what's up, bro. You're probably my favorite O-lineman in the league since your Ravens days, since back when you were like a chunkier O-lineman versus like built like a brick shit house now. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about you, I like tag certain guys when I talk about them for spurts on the show. You know what I'm saying? Unlock your tags so I can tag you, bro. I greatly appreciate it, man. Keep continuing to check out the information, man, once you see the first one. You know what I'm saying? I took it through the Chiefs website. I'm gonna tag you back in this too. Zoe, what's happening? Appreciate you checking in, man. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with the 32nd overall pick in the NFL draft, take Samuel Cosmi from the University of Texas. 6'7". I didn't know Samuel Cosmi was that tall. 6'7", 310-pound lineman. I thought he was only 6'5". The meanest long arm snatch I saw all offseason watching film so far. What I mean by long arm is this is when the D lineman is trying to take an arm, his long arm, and extend it and press you into the pocket into the quarterback. Right? You don't see what's going on behind you. He took this guy, broke him at the wrist, snatched his ass down, and just finished him into the ground, like balling up a piece of paper and stomping on the ground. It was beautiful to see. It showed me a lot. It showed me a lot in one play: athletic, dexterity, change of direction, strength, meanness, finish. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of those different things. Tampa Bay's got to get better on that O-line if they want to repeat next year. I would go into more detail. They could use a corner, potentially. They need a third linebacker. They could potentially take Nick Bolton from Missouri, guys like that. But, all in all, I don't really see too tough where anybody will end up at as far as that position is concerned. So there's one surprise that kind of went over people's heads as I continue to talk. I didn't have a pick for Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson doesn't fall in love with somebody in the first round, he's going to be a second-round draft pick. I find him hard to get out of Atlanta, but I find it hard as fuck for Atlanta. If Atlanta takes Zach Wilson, they're done with Matt Ryan. They're done with Matt Ryan. They're not going to do anything like the Matt Ryan, Julio, Ty Gurley thing. Like, let it go. It's over with. If they take him at 4. If they don't take him at 4, I find a long green room wait for Zach Wilson, the quarterback from BYU. I'm a fan of him. I just hope that whole him being a snobbish-ass rich kid thing is falsehood. I hope it's not the truth. Because that shit don't get you far in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you're a quarterback or not. God punch you in your shit. God don't play that in the league. So, nothing really too much going on in the major world of sports tonight. A couple live games on, some college basketball. Let's check this out before I go ahead and jump off the air right quick. Everybody who tuned in tonight, man, I thoroughly appreciate y'all. I think Zach Wilson would be a first round pick if they take him at 4 at Atlanta, but I think Atlanta needs so much more better than a fucking quarterback. You got a quarterback. That's just being greedy. Because you're wasting Matt Ryan's time at that point. You might as well fucking trade him if you take Zach Wilson, in my opinion, because he does nothing else good for you at that point, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. So, you know, you got a little bit of, they're celebrating Black History on NFL Network. Nothing major, guys. But once again, my name is Jordan Mosley. This has been, in my opinion, the #1 sport podcast in black sports podcasting. It's not close. Me, one. Unit, you know what I'm saying? QB1, the boy. I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Make sure you follow me on @sportshost99_ on Instagram. Facebook search Jordan Mosley, Mosley on Facebook. This will be simulcast on YouTube momentarily. Subscribe to the YouTube page, the Untied Jordan's Podcast Show YouTube page. Big ass red block. As soon as you watch a video, subscribe it on your phone mobily. Takes you 2 seconds, bro. I don't ask for much. Little food for thought, man. I'm gonna leave y'all with, man. I don't know, with just everything going on in 2021 and people trying as a country trying to advance from, you know, the very crippling episode and the very crippling situation that was the coronavirus. It gave me the passion to want to pursue this hustle. And I'm so excited to where this is going to continue to go and where this is going to continue to climb to. I thank everybody who's here with me right now, these beginning brick and mortar moments, because when I'm the biggest entity in sports, in black sports podcasting, other than like all the smoking guys like that, when I'm at the same pedestal with them boys, y'all will be able to say, I remember when y'all was here for the grassroots. Good buddy of mine told me today, he said, bro, don't worry about the race. Walk to the start line first. Don't worry about the race. All the small little intricate things that will allow me to create a better product for you guys as my fans and my listeners going forward, the things that passionately motivate me to want to continue to be great and give you greatness on a regular basis every time I produce this media content. And I hope that you guys continue to want to include yourselves and find yourselves tuning into my information and being able to find yourselves better informed today than you were yesterday, better informed after watching my shit than you do watching any one of the major networks that I won't mention on my podcast because they don't deserve the attention. So, once again, my name is Jordan Mosley. This has been episode 18, part 1, or the first 2021 NFL mock draft. This is the Untied Jordan's podcast, the #1 brick and mortar black sports podcast in the world. Not to be duplicated, not to be replicated, not to be imitated. Hopefully always congratulated. Y'all have a good evening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening.